Immigration also an issue today as Valley leaders met with Senator John Cornyn, but it didn't end there. Channel 5's Trevier Gonzalez joins us now with the scoop.
Yeah, Christine, industry leaders were able to report updates about their business as well as how projects are moving forward. But it was elected leaders who made it clear early on that it was the challenges and precautions that are surrounding the pandemic that have made things a challenge. Now, adding to that stress is the collective agreement that immigration has been making things even more difficult. At a function meant to highlight the progress of the Rio Grande Valley's job industry, Senator John Cornyn starting out a roundtable discussion over the topic of vaccines, telling those in attendance that the ICU he visited in a Dallas hospital last week was full of unvaccinated patients.
People have the freedom to make their own decisions about that. I think we ought to use good old-fashioned facts and logic and persuasion to encourage everybody to get vaccinated.
A total of 15 representatives from the Valley raised their own concerns about rising issues within the area. Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino spoke first, although unrelated from the Port of Brownsville, mounting frustration over the continuing closure to their bridges that are not allowing non-essential travel into the U.S. under direction of the federal government. Trevino telling us the county has lost as much as $500,000 as a result.
Our ports of entry are suffering, and therefore our cross-border trade on both sides of the river are suffering, and we need that.
Shortly after, Hidalgo County Judge Richard Cortez stating as much as 40% of residents within his county are living in poverty. Cortez doubling down that education is the pathway for high-paying jobs.
But we need to create the human capital of all of you educators here. We need to create human capital because we're not going to solve the poverty issues by simply giving money to people. We have to give them opportunity.
The Port of Brownsville maintains around 4,000 employers. More than 95% of their exports go to Mexico. Representatives from the Valley's colleges stating to Senator Cornyn that they are able to continue providing the education to those interested in these high-paying jobs. From high school students to those attending college, members of the conversation today hopeful that the port might act as a way to keep skilled workers within the Valley.
They don't need to go somewhere else. You know, I get tired of saying that we need to change the maquiladora mentality where we educate our kids and they leave. It's time for them to stay here.
During that roundtable, there were discussions of how they can attract more larger industries similar to SpaceX. But on the subject of young skilled workers, something that was not discussed was how to be able to maintain them here in the Valley. Now, still, Senator Cornyn says that he is still going to bring many of these subjects that were discussed back to Washington. In Brownsville, Trevier Gonzalez, Channel 5 News.